Act 1. Chapter 1. Before the Bridge. In the year 2025, humanity no longer looked to the sky with hope. It looked there with calculation. After 3 waves of colonizing nearby systems, Earth was no longer the center of civilization, only its historical core. Orbital cities revolved above the planet like cold pearls on the black thread of space, and massive interstellar vessels were built not on the surface, but in the silence of gravitational docks. One of those vessels was the Bifrost, a bridge between worlds. It was not the largest ship in the fleet, nor the fastest, but it was designed for the far, truly far crossing. Its next-generation gravitational engines could stretch space to the very limits of tolerance, and its biological life support modules were capable of sustaining a crew for years. Its destination was a planet identified in reports by a dry index, KA-055. Orbital Dock Valhalla 3. Liam stood before the panoramic viewport, watching Bifrost rotate slowly in the darkness. The ship resembled a spear aimed at infinity. The central hull, long, nearly a kilometer in length. The rotating rings of the gravity module turned steadily, creating artificial weight. In the bow, a sensor array and research module. In the stern, the heart of the vessel, the gravitational engines. "Beautiful, isn't she?" a woman beside him said quietly. Liam turned his head. Dark hair pulled into a low tail, an attentive gaze, slightly ironic. "Dr. Anna Moreira," she introduced herself. "Exobiochemistry." "Liam," he replied. "Exobiology." She smiled faintly. "The one?" He didn't ask what exactly she meant. Rumors travel faster than light. He had not been invited to this mission. Greg's team had been formed a year ago. They trained together, ran simulations, studied all available data on KA-055. They had become a single system, and 3 weeks before launch, his name had been added to the list. The official reason, specialist in interspecies contact. The unofficial one, the daughter of the head of the expeditionary directorate. Liam remembered that conversation. "You are talented," Alice's father had said, looking at him across the table with cold politeness. "And that is precisely why I'm giving you the opportunity to prove yourself." An opportunity, hundreds of light years away. Greg did not shake his hand. He simply stood in the briefing hall, tall, broad-shouldered, short gray hair, the gaze of a man accustomed to absolute control. "You understand this is not a tourist expedition?" he asked evenly. "Yes, sir," Liam replied calmly. "There is no room for improvisation here. My team functions as a single organism. I don't intend to be a foreign body." Silence filled the room. Several crew members exchanged glances. Greg nodded slowly. "We'll see." The 3 weeks before launch passed in inspections. Ballistic weapons calibrated, drones tested in dense forest simulations, bioscanners tuned to unknown spectra. KA-055 looked almost ideal. Atmosphere compatible, gravity 0.98 of Earth's, oceans 62% of surface, continents 4 major land masses, vegetation present. The only nuances, a higher argon content in the atmosphere and a slightly different microbiological background. Nothing critical. Liam spent hours studying spectral data. "Looking for ghosts?" asked the young engineer from Japan, Ren Ishikawa. "No," Liam replied. "I'm looking for patterns." Launch day. The orbital dock vibrated with energy. The crew took their places in the central module. The ship's AI, a calm, neutral female voice, counted down the stages of ignition. Gravitational engines activated. Field stabilization complete. Bridge transition in 30 seconds. Greg stood at the center of the command deck. "We are not conquerors," he said quietly. "We are explorers. Remember that." Liam felt something tighten in his chest, something close to fear, not of space, of the unknown future. 5, 4, 3. Space ahead of the ship seemed to fold inward, light stretched into threads. Transition, and Bifrost plunged into the stretched fabric of space. The first days passed in system checks, then silence. The gravitational engines worked almost soundlessly. Beyond the panoramic displays, there was nothing but a mathematically generated projection of the route. Conflicts began with small things. "You were late for the joint briefing," Greg remarked coldly. "I was reviewing bioscanner data." "We have protocol. We have science." The reply lingered between them. The crew saw it. 3 months after departure, it was time to enter long-term stasis. The capsule stood in a separate compartment, neat rows of semi-transparent cocoons. Liam lay in his. Before the lid closed, he saw the metal ceiling and cold light one last time. "See you near KA-055, Anna said, smiling through the adjacent capsule. "See you." The fluid slowly filled the chamber. Consciousness faded without dreams. Awakening. Sound returned first, a quiet signal, the AI's soft voice. "Approach to destination system complete. Preparing crew revival." Consciousness returned heavily, as if through dense fog. The capsule lid rose. Liam took his first breath. The air was slightly colder than he remembered. He sat up. Around him, others were waking. Greg was already on his feet, as if he had never slept. "Welcome to the threshold of a new world," the commander said. On the main screen, the planet rotated slowly. Blue oceans, green land masses, white clouds. KA-055. Almost Earth, and so far, completely silent. The planet filled the command deck display. Someone exhaled quietly. Someone said nothing. Greg stood with his hands behind his back. "Time to work." The AI shifted the projection. Data appeared. Surface temperature, atmospheric flows, magnetic field, ocean currents. Liam focused on spectral biomass readings. There was life. A lot of it. All 15 gathered in the briefing room after initial medical checks. Liam sat at the end of the table. Greg stood at the front. "For the newcomer, I'll repeat," he said dryly, not looking directly at Liam. "We operate in 3 sectors: reconnaissance, infrastructure, science. Everyone knows their role." He introduced people not as acquaintances, but as functions. Ana Moreira, Brazil, exobiochemistry. Ren Ishikawa, Japan, energy engineer. Marcus Stein, Germany, planetary geology. Sofia Koval, Ukraine, climatology. Diego Alvarez, Mexico, shuttle pilot. Ingrid Nielsen, Norway, bioengineer. Hassan Al-Rashid, UAE, medic. Tomasz Nowak, Poland, ballistic systems. Chen Wei, China, sensor systems and drones. Amara Okoye, Nigeria, exobotanist. Lucas Fontaine, France, data analyst. Sarah Martinez, Spain, communications and satellites. Jonas Lund, Sweden, tactical support. Arjun Patel, India, hydrology. Michal Braun, Canada, construction modules and field structures. And the 16th, Greg, commander. Liam listened. He was the only one whose role did not fit neatly into a technical function. "Exobiologist," Greg finally said. "If we encounter complex fauna, that's your domain." "Understood. Until we do, you observe and do not interfere." Their eyes met. "If there's no need to interfere," Liam replied. The faint tension returned to the air. The landing shuttle was prepared for nearly a full day. Weapons, checked. Suits, adaptive, designed for microbiological protection, not hostile conditions. Drones, programmed for a 20-kilometer radius. "Looks like a vacation," Diego said quietly, looking at the projected landing zone. Northern continent, a plain near a large forest mass and river system. An ideal base location. Before landing, the shuttle was cramped. 16 people in full gear. Liam sat opposite Greg. "Nervous?" the commander suddenly asked. "It's my first interstellar expedition." "That's not what I mean." Liam understood. "I do my job." Greg nodded. "Make sure that's enough." The shuttle shuddered as it entered the upper layers of KA-055's atmosphere. Outside the viewport, friction light flared. "Atmosphere clean," Sophia reported. "Humidity 63%, temperature 21 degrees. Someone laughed softly. It sounded almost like home. The clouds parted. Beneath them, green stretching to the horizon. Forests, rivers, reflections of water. No cities, no signs of civilization. "Beautiful," Amara whispered. The shuttle touched down gently. A light jolt. Silence. Everyone remained quiet. Greg stood first. "Seal integrity check." Systems confirmed. Atmosphere safe. The commander placed his hand on the ramp release, paused for a second. "We are the first humans here," he said, and pressed. The ramp lowered slowly. Warm air from an alien world touched their faces for the first time. Liam stepped forward with the others. Resilient soil beneath his boots, blue sky above. The scent of vegetation in the air, slightly different but alive. KA-055 greeted them in silence, and for now, with welcome. Act 1, Chapter 2, The First Week. Day 1. The sun of the KA-055 system, a yellow-white F-class subgiant, rose faster than Sophia had expected. The light was brighter than Earth's, not blinding, but denser. It seemed to penetrate deeper into the air, sharpening the texture of every blade of grass, every irregularity in the soil. The base was expanding. The combined system functioned precisely. The central, rigid command module was already stabilized, and inflatable segments were gradually attached to it. Living quarters, laboratory, equipment storage. From the outside, they looked like pale, semi-transparent domes softly glowing from within. Mihal directed the process from his tablet. "Pressure in the third segment is unstable," he said. "Ren, increase stabilization output." "Already on it." The hum of the mobile reactor deepened slightly. Liam, together with Anna and Amara, worked in the field laboratory set up under the open sky. Samples were sealed in airtight containers before being brought into the module. Everyone wore full suits. Movements were slower, breathing steady but perceptible. "The soil is rich in organic matter," Anna said. "Microflora is active. So far, nothing aggressive." "So far sounds optimistic," Amara replied. "I'm always optimistic." Liam remained silent. He was watching the tree line. No movement, no birds, no insects, no animal sounds. "That's strange," he finally said. "What exactly?" Anna asked. "So much vegetation and no visible fauna." Amara shrugged. "Maybe they're nocturnal." "Maybe." He didn't argue. He simply noted it. Day 2. The first full morning in camp began with protocol. Greg assigned tasks briefly and clearly. Perimeter extended to 300 meters. Drones. Continuous patrol. Science team. Northern sector. He looked at Liam longer than at the others. You're with the geologists. I'm a biologist. Exactly. The tension wasn't sharp. It was drawn out. Marcus walked beside Liam along a small rise. Don't take it personally, he said in accented but precise English. He just doesn't like losing control. I'm not taking control from him. No, but your presence reminds him that he doesn't control everything. Liam gave a faint smile. I didn't ask to be here. None of us did, Marcus replied. They stopped. Before them stretched a plain covered in low shrubs with dark, almost bluish leaves. Interesting, Marcus said. The root systems are very deep. That suggests stable seasons. Liam crouched, carefully touching a leaf with his gloved hand. The texture was dense, almost leathery, or long dry periods. They exchanged a glance. Work, shared, without conflict. Day 3. Sample analytics began to accumulate. Anna gathered everyone in the laboratory module. Good news, she said. No pathogens capable of penetrating our filters have been detected so far. But I want another 48 hours of observation. Greg nodded. Until confirmation, full protocols. Hassan checked everyone's vital signs. All the readings normal. Mild adaptive fatigue. Nothing critical. That night the wind strengthened. Suits rustled as the team returned to the modules. Liam stood watch with Jonas. Darkness on KA-055 was deeper than on Earth. Because of the star's different spectrum, the sky took on a dark violet hue. Do you trust him? Jonas suddenly asked. Who? Greg? Liam thought for a moment. He does what he believes is right. That's not an answer. I don't know him well enough not to trust him. Jonas nodded. In Sweden we have a saying, Den som leder i mörker måste se längst. The one who leads in darkness must see the farthest. And does he? So far, yes. They fell silent. Somewhere deep in the forest, something rustled. Liam froze. But the sound quickly faded. Maybe the wind. Day 4. The suits began to feel tighter. Sweat increased fatigue. Anna finally said, Tomorrow we can attempt short-term work without full helmets within the perimeter, under my responsibility. A wave of quiet relief passed through the team. Diego gave a thumbs up. Finally, I'll feel the wind properly. Greg looked at Liam silently. Your data? Microflora is active, but no aggressive forms detected. Long-term observation is necessary, but at present, minimal risk. Good. It was the first word of approval since arrival. Small, but noticeable.